68, the Catalan Dragons 6 at Craven Park, as the homecoming couldn't have been any better for the newly crowned Challenge Cup winners. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who needs Batman when you've got Robins as good as this? There's no doubt about it. They were playing jokers, wasn't there, in terms of the Catalan Dragons. I mean, this was a statement of intent, wasn't it, from Hull KR? Absolutely superb performance off the back of Wembley. What's so good about them? You know, if they were on a seesaw, they'd have to jump off because it'd be completely and utterly straight, wouldn't it? The balance of this team, left and right tries, of course, tries down the middle with Jesse Sue. They're a wonderful, wonderful attacking side. They were last year. They're getting better every single week, no doubt about it. And let's just talk very briefly, shall we, about Noah Booth's catch. Oh, yes, absolutely incredible. If he was Mr. Miyagi, he'd be catching flies with chopsticks like they were going out of fashion. Absolutely incredible stuff from Noah Booth. The way he, oh, come here, oh, it's wonderful, wasn't it? What a wonderful piece of skill from Noah Booth. Really pleased that he got a try on the night. It was absolutely deserved. I mean, let's be fair. Hull KR were playing with complete and utter abandon. They were tossing and passing the ball around. I mean, the only thing that wasn't getting tossed and passed by him was salads in the hospitality boxes. Unbelievable stuff, this, from Hull KR. I mean, like I say, a statement of intent. When you consider the Wigan Warriors, and we'll get to them later, you know, they had a week off. They haven't played at Wembley. They haven't had the emotion of it, and they nearly come unstuck against Huddersfield. What we're seeing here from KR is a team that are keeping their foot on the throttle. Even Burt Reynolds, you know, in his Trans Am, didn't put his foot on the throttle as consistently as KR are doing this season, doing really, really well indeed. You've got to give them a lot of due. You really, really do. Like I say, the balance incredible. Pretty much balanced in terms of left and right tries, and you know, some really nice ones in there. Yes, of course, the Catalan Dragons were absolutely diabolical. Let's not, you know, mess about with this in terms of how poor they were on the day. 50 missed tackles. 50. I mean, to put that into context, yeah, Salford Red Devils missed 31 against Saints. Now, you know, at the end of the day, we know Salford are doing it tough. Look at the Catalan roster. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty much a fully strength side there. I mean, they really are poor. One, they need some magic, and secondly, their performances to be fitting the children's folk songs at the moment. Unbelievable. And you know what you need is discipline. I mean, Frank Maria, I was sort of, yeah, I know it's a yellow, but it's a soft yellow for me. But then 2 minutes later, Ben Garcia, who, you know, we've applauded for years here on Super League Raw. What are you doing as a captain there? The red mist descended. I mean, bad enough what he did to Minchella. Then he goes and strikes Mikey Lewis as well, which gave him a nice shiner on the night. I mean, of course, you know, we're playing in a different era now. He knows not to do that. And when you see your captain doing that, who's been in and out of the squad, I feel for him. For me, he's not playing in his strongest positions. You need better from your captain. And you know, I'm sorry, but Joel Tompkins just looks lost. Looks lost. Ryan Sheridan, you know, again, I mean, look at Warrington. I've got to say it. When he came to Warrington, Warrington's defence was shot. He is the lead coach for defence, Ryan Sheridan. But when he went to Warrington, look what happened. Now look at the Catalan Dragons. I'm just saying that. Is there a link there? I don't know. But that, you know, you look at that box, devoid of ideas, devoid of quality in terms of that. It's just not good enough. And, you know, they're going to give Joel Tompkins the opportunity till the end of the season. Wow, just simply wow. I mean, Catalan Dragons, for me, the biggest disappointment in Super League of 2025, without a doubt whatsoever. Quite simply not good enough. But let's take nothing away from the sensational Hull KR. They deserve nothing but praise. Like I say, everybody was getting in on the app. Really, really pleasing tries in there. Batchel, of course, in at centre, going in for a brace. Well done to him. There were some really, really good performances. I thought Tom Davis played well on the right-hand side. I was pleased he got a try, did 160 metres for 17 carries. I thought Tom had a decent game on that side. Broadbent, again, outstanding. A try, 2 assists from him. I thought he was really good on the day as well. We've already mentioned Noah Booth. I thought Artur Morg against his former side, you know, played well, got 2 good assists in the game. He'll have been pleased with 177 metres as well from Artur Morg. Great effort from him, wasn't it? But right, let's get into the 3-2-1. The 1 point I'm going to give to Mr. Sue, yes, the number 8 supreme of Hull KR. It's hard not to. Yes, he got 2 tries, but he also ran out 11 carries for 103 metres. He did 8 tackle busts in the game. Let's give Jesse his due. I mean, you know, he had the tries of the gloss on it, but yeah, I thought Jesse Sue on the day, well done to him. He's deserving of a point. Nobody can argue with that. I'm going to give 2 to Super Jack Broadbent, who's in brilliant form, isn't he? Got another man of the match on Sky. Not quite sure why that was. Yes, he got an assist. Sorry, 2 assists. He got a try. And he did carry the ball really, really well. He got 4 tackle busts in this, 112 carries from Jack. I think he got a clean break in there or 2 as well. And I did like what he did. Really competent player, no matter where you put him, incredibly versatile. It will always give you a 9 out of 10 performance. Well done to Jack. But the 3 points for me have to go to Tyrone May. Tyrone May in this game, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yet again, his kicking game was on point. Some of his jinking runs were causing real problems for the Catalan defensive line. He got a try right at the death, and I think that was befitting. I'd have given the man a match without that try, but it was lovely that he actually got the final try of the game. I felt he deserved that. He got 2 assists, of course, on the night. Some of his tackles as well against big unit defenders who were trying to target him and tire him out. Not a bit of it. Stood up strong time and time again. Had his hands on the ball 20 times. Did a couple of tackle busts in there. He also did a clean break. Real solid performance. Tyrone May gets my 3 points. Do you agree with that, KR fans? What are you making of Tyrone, of course, now staying at your club for another 2 years? That's great news for you. But this was a cakewalk, wasn't it, for KR? A real statement of intent. They continue to move ahead, playing some wonderful rugby league, while others around them still, for me, not as impressive as them. It's theirs to lose. It's got to be said. KR at the moment, without doubt, the best team in the comp. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Now let's get over to the MKM Stadium, where Castleford Tigers were visiting Hull FC. What a game at the MKM Stadium as Castleford Tigers beat Hull FC 22 points to 14. Absolutely brilliant game this on Friday night. And what a start as well from the Castleford Tigers. I mean, look, one team were expected to win, the other one wanted to win. I mean, this was a really good, solid knock from the Tigers, wasn't it? Wonderful try on 4 minutes from Innis Senior in at the corner. Some wonderful hands on the left edge. That's clearly their best edge, isn't it? I mean, they go to that time and time again. Absolutely outstanding. But didn't Vela do his best to overturn that? I mean, let's find all the reasons not to give the try. Brilliant stuff from Steph Sale on our social media pages, references Lemonade. If you haven't seen that, get over there. You'll absolutely love it. And then, of course, Barron hit back on 14 minutes. I mean, a brilliant line break from Zach Hardacre, wasn't it? Straight through the line. Then it's over to Iden. Great cover defense. I mean, really, they should have scored on that particular phase. Great tackle, great cover defense from Castleford. And then from the dummy half position, what a pass from Cade Cust. A lovely lofted ball that went probably the best part, I would say, 15 metres? I mean, it was that good. It should be in a museum. It was a thing of beauty. Beautiful pass from Cade Cust over to Barron. Barron had a good game yet again, didn't he, for Hull FC? And it's now 6-6 before Lewis Senior kicks in on 23. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, if you came late to the party on Friday night, you'd have been forgiven for thinking it was 10-pin bowling on the telly. Because let's be fair, he went through so many defenders like they were Skittles, and I'm not talking the chewy kind either. A brilliant run from Lewis Senior. In he goes for 12-6. And speaking of missed tackles, 43 missed tackles from Hull FC in this game. That simply is not going to win you many rugby league matches. That ain't good enough. Real problems in defence. I think they lacked a lot. I mean, we've been wondering, the Asiata factor, I think it was there for all to see. They were so clunky in attack over than the last 10 minutes. We'll come back to that in a few moments' time. Dejan Arce, fantastic try from him on 56 minutes. He really wanted that. This was perhaps one of his better games, if not his best game, in a Castleford Tigers shirt before Tom Amone, who was bruisingly... I mean, we picked out Tom Amone and we picked out Herman Sasa in captain's run, didn't we? And we said, this is going to be a belting contest. Tom Amone, this was more like it from him. This was a better performance. This would have got the KR fans salivating for next season, no doubt about it. Beautiful try from him, beautiful line, great stuff, pretty much to the left of the post, but that's what Tom Amone's all about. Crashed onto that. We've been seeing Herman Sasa do it all season. Here was Tom's opportunity, 22-6 up. And then we had a contender, no doubt, for forward pass of the season by Rapana. There was one in the Wigan game as well with Marshall. But yeah, Rapana, for me, that was a forward pass all day long, but in goes Martin in the corner. But let's say, if we can say that FC came away with anything in this game, it was the try of the game. I think FC fans will be very, very concerned as to why did it take being 22 points to 6 down before they started to play to their strength. They've been playing some wonderful attacking rugby league, haven't they, this season, Hull FC? But for whatever reason, they left it very late in this, and they put the afterburners on, didn't they? The last try from Lewis Martin was wonderful on the eye. A lovely loft wedge, wasn't it, from Aidan Caesar? That's a great kick. We saw one similar, didn't we? I think it was... I think it was Leeds, wasn't it? Brodie Croft last year to Ash Hanley. I think that was at Craven Park. Very, very similar. Over it goes to Lewis Martin. Off he goes down the line. And of course, then it's a little bit of you to me with Davy Litter before he goes in the corner. I mean, look, at that point, you're thinking, right, there's still 3 minutes to go. We've got a grandstand finish. God bless Des Lynam. But no, it didn't turn out that way. Of course, some missed kicks from Aidan Caesar didn't really apply the pressure that they'd have liked. The Hull FC and Castleford Tigers ended up winning it 22 points to 14. Massive win this one for Danny Maguire. He'll be delighted with his performances from his charges. They were good on both sides of the ball with Castleford. I just felt they wanted it more. I mean, I listened to the pre-match press conference of John Cartwright, and a lot of the journalists in the room pretty much saying it was going to be a cakewalk. And John Cartwright said, you know, if anything, he'd rather it not be. That, you know, I think somebody asked him the question, you know, does it make it easier for him? He said, no, it's actually to the contrary. It made it harder. And you could see that. His team was just not up for it. This was the All FC. I mean, they got a terrible record at the MKM. I mean, very similar to Wakey, really. They like to play away, don't they, All FC? But come on. I mean, that just simply isn't good enough. 43 missed tackles in a game that they would have been expected to win. And, you know, let's be fair, at the start of the season, you think, yeah, what's FC going to be about? But they've earned enough respect to go and really, if you're an FC fan, you're expecting to win that, aren't you? Let's be honest. And quite frankly, they didn't deserve to because Castleford Tigers were so good. And many congratulations to Danny and all of those forwards out there. Right, okay, let's get into the 3-2-1. 1 point I'm going to give to Assey. I thought it was his best game in a Castleford shirt. I have to say, great try. Lovely pass for the Amon one as well. I thought he did well. What he did well. So I'm going to give him a point. I thought he was really good. 2 points I'm going to give to Zach Sinner. Of course, Texoy out now for the Castleford Tigers for a couple more weeks. You know, the question was, who are they going to slot in there? We know the senior brothers that they can slot in there at fullback. We know that. But no, not a bit of it. They decided to put Zach Sinny in there, and I thought he was exceptional. Brilliant assist in the game. But 155 metres, 19 carries from him. He did 6 tackle busts in the game. He got himself a clean break in there. He's also getting involved in dummy half positions during the course of the game. And what he was asked to do in defence, he did it really, really well. So, yeah, for me, Zach Sinny gets the 2 points. And the 3 points I've got to give to Big Tom. You know, this was about, I mean, you needed your big game players. If you're a Castleford Tigers, you know, you've been needing grunt all year. You're coming up against Big Herman, SASA, against Liam Knight. Liam Knight was kept to 97 metres. He's been doing over 100 all season. We know that. You know, Herman, SASA, again, not the best of nights for Big Herman. He was under 100 metres as well. Only got 80 in this game from 10 carries. You then compare that to Tom Amon. Tom Amon carried the ball 19 times in this game, got 135 metres for his troubles. A brilliant knock that from Tom Amon. He also did 30 tackles in D. He only missed 1 all game. So not only did he actually score that try and do bruising runs throughout, he stood up in defence as well. I mean, his defensive effort was far better than Herman SASA's, far better than Liam Knight's. He was the best prop forward on the field, no question about it. And for me, Big Herman deserves the 3 points. Castleford Tigers fans, do you agree with that? Are you getting a little bit giddy now? You know, things seem to be turning. You've got a bit more size down the middle. Arcee and Milner starting to get into a bit of groove. We know you've got good outside backs. Is it a good time to be a forward? You're expecting more scalps in the weeks to come. And if you're an FC fan, well, you know, are you now getting a little bit disappointed after what has been a really good start to your season? Where do you see it now after losing this game 22 points to 14 at home against the Tigers? What a game, though. What a game. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's now go to the Saturday fixture between Huddersfield Giants and the Wigan Warriors. Huddersfield Giants 18, Wigan Warriors 22 at the Blair Stadium. And didn't Huddersfield Giants show some flair? If you ever doubted that sport can be cruel, well, doubt it no more. There was no doubt about who the better team was in this game. It had to be the Huddersfield Giants. They had Wigan all over the place in this one. I mean, no, needless to say, Wigan really suffered with their injury crisis. The 18th man left at home. The only optics I could hear in the stadium was from the Cowbell Army. Didn't the stadium lend itself well to the Huddersfield Giants fans? All we could hear throughout the game was their songs in unison. Brilliant support from the Huddersfield Giants fans. They deserve more on the day. They were so close, weren't they? But what I liked about Huddersfield in this game against a champion side like the Wigan Warriors is they never gave in at any point. They go down to an early Marshall try. Beautiful offload from Junior Insemba. Off it goes to the left-hand side. Marshall, a cakewalk in. It's 4-0. And at that point, you're thinking, well, you know what? Maybe Huddersfield here now are going to come under the cosh a little bit. Not a bit of it. You know, just like the Empire struck back in Star Wars. Flanagan did so superbly well for the Huddersfield Giants. A beautiful try yet again from the young man, and suddenly it's all about Huddersfield Giants 6-4 ahead. And then, of course, just before half-time, George King going in to make it 12-4. George King, of course, they've missed him. Went off, I think, with an injury on the day. So too did Adam Clune. He's going to be out for a while. That's going to be a big problem, isn't it, for the Huddersfield Giants? But yeah, Kingy goes in 12-4, and you're thinking, fantastic. Now it's about what did he do at the start of the second half, and he couldn't have started any worse, could it? Big bomb goes up. Flanagan, doesn't manage to take the ball, and then I don't know what Gagai's doing. It's an Aaron Lindop job, wasn't it, from Gagai, all over the place in the back line there. And of course, a very, very simple score indeed for the Wigan Warriors. It's now 12 points to 10. And then Joe Greenwood, who I think has been brilliant for Huddersfield in the second row this season. Really, really good indeed. Very, very potent has been Joe. Doing great lines, doing great runs. And this was a great line, wasn't it, from Joe? Gets past foul far too easily. And again, they go right back on the front foot. They're 18 points to 10 up now. And they're in a really good spot going into the last 10 minutes. And then, of course, up pops Jack Farriman in for the injured Bevan French. Yeah, I mean, the first try, just really good work on the left-hand side from the Wigan Warriors, allowed Farriman a very easy score. And, when Tom Burgess managed to, say that, the pack of the Wigan Warriors on 77, managed to force an error from Leigh with a knock on, you're thinking, right, 2.5 minutes to go. Now it's about game smarts. Do your set of 6 and finish the set well. You've got to find touch. You've got to slow the game down. You've got to make sure that you put Wigan right in their backfield and then back your defence. They allowed Wigan far too much room in that last minute. I mean, Wigan, to be fair, they did chance the arm, and in the end, it's a great try. Again, Jack, baby, what you doing firing out the line, mate? Unbelievable. Sorry, he's not Jack, Jake, baby. Not good enough. You've got to be better than that. You really, really do against your former side, getting far too giddy on the left edge. That's what created the space for Farriman. And then he goes, I really feel Huddersfield Giants. Like I say, where was George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Sean Connery, the great train robbery, Ocean's 13. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This was the biggest robbery that we've seen in a long, long time. Huddersfield Giants, it's not, and of course, this has happened a couple of times. Remember Hull FC earlier in the season. In a different season, Huddersfield might be 4-6 points better off. They are absolutely improving week in, week out. And now, of course, they go to the real injured Warrington Wolves, and they will fancy that next Saturday, and rightly so. Really good effort this from the Huddersfield Giants. Right, let's get into the 3-2-1. Who am I giving 3 points to? Well, actually, let's do the 1 point first. This might surprise some people, but I think the reason why Huddersfield in this game very nearly won it was their defensive efforts. Some of their defensive efforts were absolutely exceptional. One of them, Ash Goulding, that might surprise a lot of people, but Ash Goulding coming off the bench, 34 tackles indeed, really, really good indeed. He only missed 2 all game, made 18 carries for 103 metres. He had a good game, did Ash Goulding. So because of his defensive effort and the metres that he gave the Huddersfield Giants to put him on the front foot, he gets a point from me. Good effort from him. It's hard to look past Farriman, isn't it? In for Bevan French, massive shoes to fill. He gets 2 vital tries in the last 10 minutes, carried the ball 14 times for 118 minutes, got 8 tackle busts as well in the game and 2 clean breaks. So I think Farriman does deserve 2 points. And the 3 points, again, might surprise many, many people this. I'm going to give it to Zach Wolford for the same reason that I gave a point to Goulding, but Wolford was even better. 47 tackles, didn't miss 1. That's an exceptional effort from Wolford. Really good indeed. 9 marker tackles as well for good measure from Zach Wolford. And it's that defensive effort for me that was vital for the Huddersfield Giants. Without that, I don't think Huddersfield do as well in this game. It was a marvellous, marvellous effort from Huddersfield Giants. They can go away with a lot of pride. But the Wigan Warriors, well, they snatch 1 and stay 2 points behind KR. Now let's go to Headingley Stadium. Leeds Rhinos 36, Warrington Wolves 12. Yes, well, what we're going to say here, let's get into it. First of all, let's go with Warrington, because I think we've got to pay a lot of tribute to Leeds in a few moments' time. Look, Warrington, of course, emotionally shot, it would have to be said, after the Challenge Cup final. They looked tired after 45 minutes. It couldn't have got off to a worse start in terms of Warrington, because it was a war of attrition. Great defence on both sides. Took 33 minutes for, of course, the first try to be scored by the Leeds Rhinos. But, I mean, that was taking more and more juice out of Warrington throughout. I just felt Leeds looked better throughout the game. They looked far more dangerous than the Warrington Wolves. Warrington didn't didn't really. If we went for Mark Sneed's kicking in the first half, I think they've been under a lot of line pressure earlier on. Mark Sneed's kicking in the first period, very, very good for the Warrington Wolves. But once that started to dilute a little bit, they were on their haunches all the way through that second half, and they were in big problems, wasn't it, from there? The only real saving grace here for the Warrington Wolves was I thought the Fewless try was a really, really nice try, well worked on the left edge. But look, you've seen what KR have done. You know, they backed up against Wembley. I mean, okay, they were the winning side, but destroyed the Catalan Dragons. Warrington really, for me, didn't lay a glove on a resurgent Leeds Rhinos. We've got to give Leeds a lot of credit. And again, from a Warrington perspective, what really upset Sam Burgess is the fact that the tries were pretty much all down the middle. All down the middle, with the exception perhaps of Brodie Crofts and Jake Connors, where quite frankly they were finding lazy defenders and doing a bit of jinking, and in you go. But all the rest were scored by forward units, pretty much down the middle, pretty much route one. I mean, a lot of players not working inside shoulders. One of them was Flockman Fitzgibbon. Joe Philbin, who's been in great form for Warrington of late. He was more concerned about Lazona, which allowed a massive gaping hole to be there for Cam Smith to walk through for his first try. And like I say, lots to work on with Warrington, and it couldn't get much worse because now Aaron Lindop has gone down with another knee injury. That's 3 now for Warrington. With Walker, Ashton already in knee braces. Of course, Ollie Leyland there. So actually it's 4. I mean, unbelievable, isn't it? In terms of that we've had 4 knee injuries at Warrington Wolves this season. Unbelievable. It's going to be a long, long haul. They've got 5 games now that for me they've got to go and win. If they don't go and win them, I think Warrington could struggle to make the playoffs. Sam Burgess making light of it. He says he's not concerned. I think deep down he's got to be concerned because they're losing key players. And again, you've got to look at it from a Warrington perspective. No Walker, no Ashton in there. They've had Williams gone for a long period. No Duffy in this one. There's no doubt about it. These are not fringe players. These are starting players. These are the first players on the team sheet. That's going to affect. But we've got to give credit. Burgess, next man up, not really complaining too much about it. There's not really been much said about it. But Warrington, for me, I've got it all on now to make the playoffs. Let's talk about what has been. We said that Hull FC was a surprise package earlier in the season. I'm going to retract that. I think Leeds Rhinos are the surprise package now of 2025. They are playing some wonderful, wonderful rugby league football, aren't they? They look a proper unit. Croft and Connor, we pointed out to them in Captain's Run that we felt that they were going to be a really assured partnership. We've got Lockie Miller back as well, doing what Lockie Miller does in the back line. They were very, very good indeed on both sides of the ball. Were the Leeds Rhinos very, very strong. I thought actually 36-12, it could have been a lot more. I felt every time they had the hands on the ball, they looked dangerous. They really, really did. A really good, solid performance this from the Leeds Rhinos. Very, very impressive indeed. I think they're going to be in and around it. I've got to say that. And if they continue to make incremental gains in terms of their form, connectivity, etc., they could be real dark horses. I mean, people say Leeds have got a way of doing it. Not this Leeds team. That's the Leeds team of old. It has no bearing on it at all. But what Leeds Rhinos do is that, because of the badge, because of the pride, because of the culture of that club, they will keep fighting until the bitter end. And do you know what? If Wigan and Hull KR are not on their game come the playoffs, Leeds Rhinos could be that team that knocks one of them out of a grand final appearance because they are playing that well. There's lots to be excited about if you're a Leeds Rhinos fan at this time. Some wonderful tries. They played very, very well indeed. Right, let's get into the 3-2-1 with this. Like I say, nothing but praise for the Leeds Rhinos. An incredible performance from them. I'm going to give 1 point to Cameron Smith. I think Cameron Smith, for me, I mean, if you listen on the grapevine, last year he was playing more as a half, really. That's not really, Cam Smith is a loose forward. That's what he is. He's a pack member. But that said, he's a ball playing loose forward. We get that. But I think now the fact that, they've got Croft and Connor in there, Jared O'Connor doing a great job as well at hooker, it's allowing Cameron to play his game. And I think he's looked really good since coming back from injury. He took his tries really, really well. It was a captain's knock from him, 4 tackle bust, 87 metres from 17. He played really well. Ash Handley also, I thought, played well as captain. 2 points I'm going to give to Jake Connor. Another masterful performance from him. A try and assist, some really good kicking play. 26 carries, 103 metres from him. But the man of the match, I'm going to give to Morgan Gannon. Brilliant performance, a great try, brilliant in defence, absolutely sensational. 29 tackles, 100% tackle efficiency in the game. He did it over 100 metres. He's going to be fantastic in the NRL. He is my man of the match. These Rhinos fans, do you agree with that? Get in the chat, let us know as we now go to the Sunday games as we go to Salford against Saints. Salford Red Devils 4, St Helens 46, in a game that Saints, let's be fair, were expected to win this. I just want to pay tribute yet again to the Salford Red Devils. Yes, it's a 46-4 win. Of course it is. But they're trying, aren't they? I mean, if you compare and contrast what Salford are doing to the Catalan Dragons, need to say more. You've seen so much heart and desire from Paul Rowley's men, aren't you? You've got to give them credit for that. As for Saints, they just did what they needed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. It's another good game for them. George Whitby down with an injury. That could be a problem for them long term, because Sailor put back to full back. And, don't get me wrong, this isn't the game where we're going to see what Sailor's all about at fullback. Of course, next week they've got the Leeds Rhinos. That, for me, is a massive, massive game for the Saints. There's no doubt whatsoever about that. We're going to find out so much more about that fullback problem for the Saints next week, aren't we? For me, I don't know. I really don't know. It's one to watch, isn't it? No doubt about that. Felt back, and great performance from Carl Felt. I mean, he's been out for a long time. That shows up their right edge. There's no doubt about it. We know he's a quality pro. He's Carl Felt. Did the minutes, did the meters, got 4 tries. Again, we're not going to go big on that. But he did his job. Let's be perfectly honest about that. I thought some of the middle units played well as well for Saints. They did some good knock warms, as always, piling on the meters. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And I don't really want to pour any more misery on Salford. There's no point in doing that. What I will do is I'll pay tribute to their heart and desire. And as for Saints, they got the job done. And that's all that matters. And they did it with ease. I mean, there's still things there that they'll want to tidy up and they'll want to get better. Of course they will. But bottom line is, this was a professional job and they did really well. Let's get into the 3-2-1. 1 point I'm going to give to Harry Robertson. They missed him, haven't they? And I thought, yet again, Robertson was very good in this. 2 tries and assists from young Robertson. 4 tackle busts in the game. Very, very assured. Got on the end of some really nice moves, did Mr. Robertson. He's going to be a fantastic player of the future. 2 I'm going to give to Tristan Sailor at full back. 4 assists in this, which is a great knock. That's happy days. If you're getting 4 assists in a game, you've had a good one, haven't you? I thought he was very assured at the back, but like I say, bigger tests are coming for him. And the 3 points we've got to give to Carl Felt, not necessarily just for his 4 tries. He carried the ball well, 163 metres from 13 carries. And when you consider most of his tries were just simple put-overs, that tells you the amount of work that he did as well, coming back from injury and actually, doing really well. Very, very easy on the eye. So I felt that Felt deserved 3 points. What are your thoughts on that? Great win this for the Saints. They keep moving forward. They're still in that top 6. They're going nowhere, but we're going to find out a lot about them when they go up against the Leeds Rhinos at the totally wicked stadium this coming weekend. Can't wait for that one on Friday. I'm sure you're looking forward to it too. Let's now go over to the DIY Kitchen Stadium to bring this edition of In the Sheds to a close. When we said this was going to be the game of the round, and I think it pretty much delivered, albeit Huddersfield ran it very, very close, didn't it? Great win this one for the Leigh Leopards, 24 points to 20 at the Trin. I mean, a great final try from Offengowie. He'll have been very, very happy with that one. It took some scoring as well to break the hearts of Trinity in this one. But this was a great advert for the game of rugby league. The BBC got it right this week, and let's hope that pulls in more viewers to the greatest game on earth. It was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant game. I mean, who needs turnips when you've got carrots that taste as sweet as this on your Sunday dinner? Absolutely brilliant. I thought Armstrong and Jowett, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant at fullback, both players. I've got to give tribute to them. I thought the reverse ball from Ben McNamara. Oh yes, I mean it was like the Yorkshire pudding to the beef, wasn't it? I mean, yes, you can have nice, good quality roast beef, but the Yorkshire pudding elevates it. That reverse pass from Ben McNamara and received the ball from his papa to set David Armstrong off. Oh yeah, I mean, not being funny, but if it was gravy, bath me in it. It was that good, wasn't it? Well, you have to celebrate rugby league football of that standard. I thought some of the tries on the edges were really nice as well. The Darnell McIntosh one, the Oliver Pratt one, I thought they were some really nice stuff. I thought the Lachlan Lamb run for the McIntosh one, very, very easy on the eye. Lockie had a really good game, didn't he? That was a nice little jinking run there through the middle. Thank you very much. Off it goes. And in goes Darnell McIntosh. So much to like, so much to like. But we get into the detail here at Super League Raw. And one of the things that I want to point your attention to is I think in this game, what we saw was 2 sides that showed up for each other. 2 sides that have been coached really, really well and are really putting in a shift for each other. And there's no better example of that in a game of rugby league than willing line runners, whether you get the ball or whether you don't. And I'm not just talking outside backs here. I'm also talking middle unit forwards. Go back, watch the game. The work effort that went in to trying to bamboozle each other's defence. There was so much solid work done by the back row forwards and the forwards in this one. Really, really good. I mean, again, go and rewatch the game. Watch the line lines that players were running, not always getting the ball, trying to break the other team down. It was a great exhibition for that. And it carried on throughout the game. Great energy showed by both teams. It was a sparkling game of rugby league. I mean, in terms of the stats, there was just nothing in it. 20 points to 24, 4 points in that. I mean, whether you're talking post-contact meters, tackles, whatever you want to talk, these two were so close. It could have gone either way. And actually, most of the stats favoured Trinity. I thought Trinity in the second half, 18-12 down at half-time. I thought they came back really well. I thought the decision from Mike McMeekin to take the two, I thought was inspired. Really, really inspired. I mean, that showed a lot of confidence. Just got into the heads maybe of the Leigh Leopards, and of course, then the Corey Hall try came a little bit later. And of course, at that point, it really is game on. They were holding the lead, of course, and I thought that was an inspired decision from Mike McMeekin. Another great captain's knock from him. But there's just so much to like about these two sides. Real good quality rugby league football. They're both going to be in and around the playoffs. Of course, Leigh in the box seat. We know that they're looking pretty primed, I think, for a top six position. But Wakey Trinity, there's just so much to be impressed about Wakey Trinity. They've still got some big units as well to come back into their team. Jake Truman, of course, he was brought back for that. That surprised me that they dropped Jowett back into fullback. I really like what Jowett has done at standoff for Trin. I was surprised he dropped Josh Rourke. I don't think he's done anything wrong, but Truman seems to have come through it. But if I'm Josh Rourke, I'm a bit disappointed about that. It's the old adage, you don't change a winning side, and for me, I felt a little bit there for Josh Rourke, I have to say. But all in all, what a game. What a game of rugby league. I mean, this was always, for me, going to be the turnaround, and it didn't disappoint. Right, let's get into the 3-2-1. This might surprise a few people, but let's get into it. Anyway, the 1 point, I know on Sky they gave it to Lockie Lamb, the man of the match to Lockie Lamb on the BBC. Not a bit of it for me. He gets a point. Lockie was good. Don't get me wrong, he was good. Set up 2 tries. Like I said, that run was very easy on the eye. And that possibly just stayed in the memory banks a little bit. That was a lovely moment from Lachlan Lamb in this game. But for me, he gets a point. The 2 points I'm going to give to Ben McNamara. I thought Ben McNamara throughout this game, again, not one of those players that often goes unnoticed. I mean, it's easy to Lockie Lamb, let's give him man of the match. I thought Ben McNamara, really, really good. And again, I've already mentioned David Armstrong. I thought Armstrong had a good game. He's not in me 3-2-1. Armstrong had a good game as well for the Leigh Leopards. Robbie Mulhern doing 119 metres as well, also worth a mention. But we have 2 to Benny McNamara. I thought he had a really, really good game. But for me personally, the best player on the pitch was in a Wakefield Trinity shirt, and it's Max Jowett. I thought Max Jowett, again, was quite simply brilliant for Wakefield Trinity. Such a good player. I think, if he's playing for, dare I say, a Wigan, a Saints, a Leeds, whoever, I think he gets probably more notoriety. He gets far more praise than perhaps he does playing for Wakey Trinity. And that's wrong, because Max is really, really playing great rugby league football in 2025. He had a shocking 23, when Wakey went down. He was fantastic in the Championship last year, and he's come back with a vengeance. I thought he was outstanding. His goal kicking was on point. He really is the danger man, isn't he? I just think he's better at 6 at the moment. I really do. That's where I put him, Darryl. Not that I know anything, of course, but that's where I put him. But yeah, I'm going to give it Max Jowett. I thought Max Jowett was the best player on the pitch on the day. I thought he was outstanding. And without him, I don't think Wakey would have probably been as close to League as they were. He was that important to the Trinity cause. What a round of Super League we have just had. That is in the sheds, ladies and gentlemen. We leave with Hull KR, of course, still leading the Wigan Warriors by 2. Then it's the Rhinos in third, 20 points. Fantastic from Brad Arthur. With that win, Leigh Leopards, they're in fourth on 19, 3 points clear of the Saints. If Saints were to lose against Leeds, that cushion could get even bigger for the top 4, of course. Then it's Hull FC, who are still in the top 6. They're on 15 points. Trinity just behind them on 14. Then it's the Wire on 12. Not out of it, Warrington, but they are now 3 points back from 6. They're going to need some wins, and pretty quickly. Then it's the diabolical Catalan Dragons. Castleford Tigers now very much on their haunches. They're on 8 points. Wouldn't surprise me now if Castleford Tigers finish above the Dragons. Who'd have thought that at the start of the season? Huddersfield still on 2. I think that's so cruel. They've been so much better than to be on 2 points. And of course, Salford Red Devils bottom of the table on 2. That is Super League after round 14. Plenty coming your way here on Super League Raw this week. Tuesday, we're not doing Super League Raw weekly. We've got other commitments this Tuesday, but we are going to be live at 8 o'clock on YouTube, 8 p.m. YouTube for Super League Raw weekly. this Wednesday night. Thursday at 6 o'clock is the captain's run. That's right, we're going to be doing the full analysis of round number 15, all the main talking points going into that round 15 clash on Sky on Thursday night, as always. In the Sheds, we'll be back next week, of course. Don't forget the Final Whistle podcast is available right now for you to listen to for round 14. That'll be back next Sunday as well. Lots coming your way here on Super League Raw. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of In the Sheds, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.